Africans, Jamaicans, Chinamans, Japanese men's, whatever. Wherever you come from, what's happening? I hope you're checking out the show from all over the place. This is Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. And welcome back, y'all. The weekend has passed, and here we are again, Monday. Just another Matic Monday. Oh, whoa, yeah. But before we get started, got to make sure that one, you can hear me. Two, that I can see the chats. So let's see. Anybody, where you at? Let me see the chat. Somebody said you're hearing me. Now, make sure throughout the show, just in case you start hearing some beatboxing go on in the mic, let me know. If it's like, you got to let me know. Okay, all the way from Thailand. There we go. What's happening, Dallas? Yeah, I responded to you on Twitter. I think it was Twitter. It was either Twitter or Instagram. I'm not sure. But yeah, thanks for sending me those clips. Now, if this is your first time joining the show, please hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. We got to do these things to keep these algorithms moving. All right. And then also, if you want to support the channel, there's all kind of ways you can do that. And I'll be going over that in just a second. But first things first, I got to get loose because we got some stuff to talk about. Did y'all see part 2 of that devil speech? Oh, man. Biden is evil as he can be. Yeah, man. He's using all of his last few minutes of brain cells for eval. And that's why I don't have any mercy on him. So let's get busy. Let me get loose. Yeah. What? Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, if this is your first time joining my show and you don't know about my store, check it out. Check it out. I got a Kevin's Corner store. Some of you who watch my channel constantly. I got a visitor. Gizmo sitting here looking at me. He knows I'm doing my show. You know I'm doing my show, don't you, Gizmo? Anyway, you can check out Kevin's Corner store if you want to. There's all type of merch you can purchase. Can purchase that merch. And so please do. It helps out the channel. And then also that number right there, 330-974-4607, is a way you can stay connected just in case I get bounced off. Might get bounced off. And I also heard that my videos aren't automatically uploading on my Rumble page. So I'm going to have to go ahead and look into that. Normally they automatically upload over there, and I heard they ain't been uploading. So I'm going to have to do some troubleshooting, find out what happened, what went wrong. But please subscribe and follow me on Rumble and all the other platforms. That's another way to stay in contact with me. And then finally, of course, if you want to support the channel by my monthly fundraiser, there's a link right below the video. Just click on it, man. I don't care what you put in there. 5 cents, $5. You know what I'm saying? Just don't put nothing negative in there, okay? Nothing negative, all right? All right, now, with no further ado, y'all, we got to go over this beautiful, wonderful, inspiring January 6th speech coming from Creepy Sleepy. But before we do that, Creepy Sleepy have released a campaign ad. It's so inspiring. Yeah. And so I want to go ahead and cover Creepy's campaign ad so that it sets the tone for his wonderful, inspiring speech. So let's check out what he's up to these days in his campaign ad. Here we go.
I've made the preservation of American democracy the central issue of my presidency.
What?
I believe in free and fair elections and the right to vote fairly and have your vote counted. There's something dangerous happening in America. There's an extremist movement that does not share the basic beliefs in our democracy. All of us are being asked right now, what will we do to maintain our democracy? History's watching. The world is watching. Most important, our children and grandchildren will hold us responsible.
Okay.
The Vice President and I have supported voting rights since day one of this administration, and I ask every American to join me in this cause. America is still a place of possibilities where the power resides with we, the people. That's our soul. We are the United States of America. There is nothing beyond our capacity when we act together. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
I'm Joe Biden, and I can barely speak. That's what that sounds like. Now, what I didn't hear, first of all, is someone who sounds like they have a good command over the English language. It was a whole bunch of slurring. This is a democracy. And Joe says, you know what? That's what Joe Biden, and we got to stop Trump and his evilness and the democracy. That's what I heard. I heard a whole bunch of slurring, and it doesn't sound like he's going to go a second round and actually make sense. I mean, this man right there is slurring through everything. He sounds like Bismarcky. Yeah, I caught the vapors. Yeah, that's what he sounded like. Eric Sermon. Yo, PMD. Yo, won't you do me a favor? Sit me with the chicken. I'll hook you up later. She's fly, haircut, like Anita Baker, looked up and down, say, I'll take her. I could barely understand what that man was saying through the whole ad. However, what I didn't hear is anything about policies. I didn't hear nothing about his accomplishments, his record. I didn't hear nothing about his plan moving forward. All I heard was democracy on the line. There's democracy. There's a facet that hates democracy. So we already know. Moving forward, they're going back to the old playbook. All right, now we're going with fear on one, ladies and gentlemen, because we have nothing else. We have nothing else to slide out there to the public and make them say, yeah, you know what? That's inspiring right there. I mean, let me understand. He's going to be addressing this border. He's going to be addressing the economy and the inflation, and he's going to be addressing these wars overseas and stuff. Yeah, okay, well, yeah. No, he's not talking about that. It's straight up, you better vote for me or doom and gloom is coming. Now, they done tried that. They tried that when it was Hillary. Then they cheated the second round, but they still tried that too. See, it was a combination. Yeah, see, it was, let's go ahead, roll out the fear campaign along with some special tactics. There you go. Now they're recycling this mess again. Now, you would think they would change up their strategy, but no, that ain't their style. That ain't their style. They're going to keep beating that horse. So now that we saw his little campaign ad, let's go ahead and get into how he jumped into this devil speech. There's some people who supported this too, because see, you got to understand, y'all. This J6 crap and this fear tactic about Trump's about to take over the country. He's going to be a dictator and he's going to, do all this stuff. This is not just the Democrats in it all by themselves. I mean, you got a combination of actors that are involved in this. You got some deep state folks, you got the fake news. They all got to play their part. And then, of course, you got the Democrats. But they all have to play their part to make this work. I just saw somebody say they love the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So let's see some of the surrounding cast members that set the tone, the other actors on the stage that kind of set the tone before the main dummy came out, the real puppet. Okay, so let's check it out. Starting off with
the persistent threats to our democracy, with Republican voters casting their first presidential primary ballots this month, and with Donald Trump continuing to hold a commanding lead, even expanding lead in the polls, we're faced with the startling possibility that the man impeached for inciting the rioters on January 6th could be elected again.
Well, you know what? I'm faced with the fact that you ain't got no bass in that voice. That's what I'm faced with, that democracy. And that we're once again faced with the talking out them nostrils. That's what I'm faced with. I'm faced with the fact you got elf ears. That's what I'm faced with. I don't understand. Where's the rest of the ears? They're all just sticking out the side like this. What is this? What is this going on? What the? Gizmo, get away from my Red Bull. Gizmo's down there trying to drink some Red Bull, y'all. Yeah, but the nerve of this dude. Here he comes out there talking out of his nostrils, talking about the man who threatened our democracy, the man who... So all of that mess. So his job is to lay the groundwork. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you can't just have a Joe Biden fear speech, a devil speech like that again without the media supporting it. They got to make it seem like this is a legitimate speech and a concern that we all should be worried about. And this dude's about to lay it on thick, y'all. Oh, he's about to win some type of fake news award, I'm sure. Here we go.
The man who claimed the insurrectionists had love in their hearts, who referred to January 6th as a beautiful day. And
now, see, you hear the actor? He's the one that comes out and does the monologue. A man who claimed that J6 was a beautiful day. I present unto you Yeah, you hear? He's in character right now. So now, first things first, I would have a question for the little troll with the funny ears. I would be asking him, well, just how many folks were insurrectionists versus non-insurrectionists? And exactly who were the insurrectionists? Why weren't they charged for insurrection? These are questions that we all have. Why aren't they being put in jail and locked up for insurrection, man? This right here was supposed to be this one gets all up under my nerves. This whole J6 thing. I got to kill it, man. I can't let this one keep growing. We can't let this weed keep growing. It'll kill all of the beautiful flowers. See, we'll be hearing about insurrection for the next 20 years. They'll be celebrating another J6 insurrection holiday. I don't want that mess. I don't want it to be like 9/11 and all of these other real, attacks on the homeland. I don't want it to be like that. So I got to kill it, man. So when they come out and he's talking about some insurrection, I got questions about that he ain't going to answer. The man with the funny elf ears. He's not going to answer rather, well, wait, if this was an insurrection, why are these people still walking around and not being charged for that? They're all being charged for things like, trespassing, on property, things like that. No insurrection charges though, right? But he just slings it out there because he's an actor. He's a propagander. So he throws that out there and his goal is to make Trump seem just fearful. Like, oh man, you got to fear this guy. He's dangerous. He supported this insurrection that we're making up.
Who vowed to pardon the rioters criminally charged in connection with the violence, people he now calls hostages.
I don't see what the problem is. See, here's the problem that they ran into. We've seen the play already. We've seen these performances. Not only that, we done got a peek backstage. We saw all of these folks who were walking around and it didn't look like no insurrection, man. This is the movie again where somebody comes out telling you, dude, you should have saw it. It was crazy, man. Dude, man, bodies and stuff, blood splattering on the walls, man. The cops was up against the wall like, bang that out, bang, dang that out, bang, bang. They was up there busting caps, man. And those insurrections, man, those insurrectionists was just climbing over the walls, man, like some type of aliens, man, climbing over the walls, man, talking about some white nationalism. That's right, racism's coming for you. They was doing all that, man. It was coming for them cops. And you get to the show and you going, what the heck? I see, okay, there was a couple people in the front that acted a fool, which are questionable. Then what I see is a lot of people walking around a building. I came for some action, man. I came for some insurrection and I didn't get none. So because we done seen the behind the scene footage of what really went on, it's a hard sell for them. So now here he is out here talking about some the Trump calls them political prisoners. They are. When I see people that are still being held on whatever charges, and all they did was walked around a building, some of them didn't even go in the building, and they're still in jail, just so it could support your narrative that this was the greatest attack on the homeland. Can't get them on some real insurrection charges, so you hold them on some bootleg trumped up charges, no pun intended, but nonetheless, they're all in there on some trumped up charges, and y'all are making that appear that this is because of the insurrection. But they know that their bubblehead viewers aren't going to go and look up why all these people are in jail. They're not going to look, okay, well, let me find any of them that was charged with insurrection. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm scrolling. All right, trespassing. Okay, wait. Okay. Excuse me, MSNBC, little man with the ears and no bass in the voice. Where are the charges of insurrection? So why are you out there saying it? That's my question. Oh, my bad. He's a propagander. He is an actor laying the groundwork for you know who's coming. The puppet.
Yesterday, in his first campaign speech of 2024, President Biden issued a warning about what's at stake.
There it is. Y'all hear that soft introduction to the puppet?
The President Biden issued a warning to what's to come. Let's finish here from the guy with no bass and talking out of his nostrils.
Trump began his 2024 campaign by glorifying the failed violent insurrection on our Capitol.
Of course it failed, because it wasn't even an insurrection. What are you talking about? Trump started his 2020 campaign because a failed insurrection, because it wasn't an insurrection. This drives me crazy. It really does. It shows the power of manipulation, the power of media, the power of conspiracy, when powerful entities can come together and literally brainwash a whole bunch of people into thinking something happened that did not happen. I mean, this is crazy. Yeah, well, it's like faking a dang on nuclear attack or something, and it never happened. You know, I mean, you show some old footage maybe of 1942 testing. You know, today the nuclear bomb dropped in Afghanistan somewhere, and nobody questions it. There's no footage. They show Afghanistan ain't no nuclear holocaust. People still walking around. Yeah, come to find out it was a grenade that went off. There you go. A grenade went off. And they're up there telling everybody it was a nuclear bomb that blew up in Afghanistan. There's people everywhere. And then you start looking at the footage. And you're like, man, that footage is doctored. That's an old... Wait a minute. Hold on. Is that really a nuclear... What? I'm still seeing people on the ground walking around. And come to find out it was a grenade. This is what they've done. They got people literally still thinking, man, it was dangerous. And I'm going... You didn't stop for 1 second to think about what this man is saying. He is saying, first of all, they have brought back a term that really is not applicable for this. They brought back that term for a reason, because that term would, if it's true, would eliminate Trump from being able to run again. So they had to bring that term back. Insurrection. Secondly, nobody questions what is an insurrection. How does it look? What goes on during an insurrection? So when you look at it at face value, and y'all know this, when you stop and say, well, wait a minute, man, where were the guns? What was the major threat that, our democracy faced? A whole bunch of people just walked around the Capitol with no guns and MAGA hats, but yet y'all are saying we almost lost our democracy. How would that even look? What were they going to do once they got in there? Huh? I mean, where was the sense of urgency? What was the game plan? What was the end game? There's so many questions a rational thinking person would have when they watch this propaganda. But we know if they're watching MSNBC or CNN, they're not rational at that moment. They need somebody to jog them out of the nightmare, out of them and get up, like Airplane, huh? Wake up. I can't believe you believe this crap. It's unbelievable. Here we go.
The guy who claims law and order sows lawlessness and disorder. Trump's not concerned about your future, I promise you. Trump is now promising a full-scale campaign of revenge and retribution, his words.
Against who? See, that's the question. Against who? The American people? You guys are attacking the American people. Retribution against all of us who decided we don't like Hillary, we don't like the Democrats, we don't like Joe Biden. We don't like getting shots that we don't want to take. We don't like that stuff. What? You're disobedient? Okay, well, we got something for you. Hey, look, DOJ, go after FBI. Come up with some crazy lists. All of that stuff. It looks like we're the ones that's targeted. So who are you talking about Trump is targeting? I know we feel like we're being targeted. When you look at all of this, data, all of these whistleblowers that show how the DOJ, FBI, and all of them were setting up this whole narrative that white nationalism, conservative extremism is on the rise. This is the greatest threat to the homeland. Here's a list of all the potential characteristics of an extremist, planting folks in conservative little cells and trying to make it seem like, oh, these people are dangerous, trying to encourage them to do stuff, going after, folks that just oppose abortion, stuff like that. Going after all of these J6 folks who most of them didn't even go in the Capitol, and then the ones that did were peacefully in there. And then there was a few knuckleheads, but one knucklehead is missing off that list. Actually, it's several. I went over that in the video a couple of days ago. Please check that one out if you really want to see how many major players if we're in J6 are still running around rampant. Let's run around. But you know the main one, y'all. That's right. Yeah, I'll say it. I'll say it. I might go to jail for it, but I'll say it. Tomorrow, we gotta go. But that guy got a slap on the wrist. No misdemeanor. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it again, Bigfoot. Go on now. Get on that. Go on back to the bushes. See, so I'm a little concerned about that. That makes me feel like we're already being targeted. That's what it makes me feel like. But here's Joe Biden throwing out that statement. Hey, he's coming targeting all the retribution. Against who? All of you corrupt politicians? All of you folks that coordinated this? All of you folks that launched stupid impeachment hearings against him for no reason? All of you folks that might have wiretapped him? All of you folks that coordinated putting together that whole fake bootleg Russian dossier? Hillary Clinton and all of y'all? Yeah, is he coming after the regular people or is he coming after crooks? Joe Biden and his crooked crackhead son making all that cheese overseas. He making cheese overseas, man. So who is he coming after? Crooked Biden, you, and the rest of the crew. But here he is. Retribution. He throws that out there because he wants the public to be like, me? Wait a minute, I didn't vote for Trump. I mean, is he coming? What did I do to him? Oh boy, I better vote for Biden. Like this, but then the sad part is for some weak-minded people, the fear tactic is going to work. Hitting them with the boogeyman, you better go to sleep. Yeah, you know how your mama and them used to do it. Boy, you better go to sleep. Nah, I ain't sleeping, mama. Ooh, the boogeyman going to come and get you. What? Well, wait a minute now. Wait, where you going? Who is this boogeyman and what is he is concerned with me? Oh, nothing. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm going to go wash dishes. You can stay up, though, if you want to. But when the boogeyman come, I'm like, whoa. Come here. I need to know more about this boogeyman. What is he going to do to me if he catch me up? Well, who knows? And then, what do you know? Well, I think I better go to sleep. That's what they're trying to pull on the public. The boogeyman is going to get you. Y'all better vote for me. Let's continue.
It's the first national election since January 6th. Insurrection placed a dagger at the throat of American democracy since that moment.
Insurrection placed a dagger at American democracy. They won't explain how. See, and I blame the Republicans a lot for this. I blame them because they are not combating this narrative properly. They really aren't. This ain't even a hard narrative to combat. This is one of those, just show a couple clips of a compare and contrast. There you go. This is nothing more than just showing these people with their hyperbole and then showing some footage and putting it together and say, does this match? Does that match? This is simple as just asking him, okay, you're saying insurrection put a dagger to democracy. How so? What would have been the next step? That's all you got to ask him. What would have been the next step after these people entered the Capitol? What made them abandon the insurrection? That's my question. Why did they just suddenly say, we've already come this far, forget it? Forget it. I wish we would have had an in-game plan. We just ran in here for nothing. So now we're here. Where y'all want to go to Denny's? Get something to eat? The insurrection is complete by just coming into the Capitol and walking around. So these are questions if you ask them. What would have happened if these people would have seized the Capitol? How would democracy be at risk? What would have been the next step in taking over and overthrowing our democracy? And then finally, why did you come out when you were trying to get guns from American citizens and claim that if you're going to overthrow the government, you're going to need more than an AR-15? You're going to need jets. You're going to need nuclear weapons. Why did you say that? And yet you're saying some folks with MAGA hats and cell phones could have overthrown a democracy. These are questions that would pop that airhead of his. Because all he's doing right now is reading his propaganda lines that are written for him. That's it. The puppet right there. And we ain't even got to his speech. This is just a clip that the guy from MSNBC is showing to kind of set the tone. We'll get to the devil's speech in a few minutes.
We all know who Donald Trump is.
We do?
The question
Yes,
we
we
have
do.
to answer is, who are we?
Thank you. We do all know who Donald Trump is, the ones that support him, and that's why we're not falling for your propaganda. And this puppet right here is mad. So listen to him.
The president is right. And the answer to that question from some in the Republican Party is frightening. According to a new Washington Post University of Maryland poll, Republicans are now less likely to believe that insurrectionists were mostly violent and less likely to believe Trump bears responsibility than they were in 2021.
Well, what could have led to that, you little propagander? Huh? What could have led to that? Could it be that now we see all that video footage? Now, see, I was ahead of the game. I'm pretty sure most of y'all, soon as I heard about it, and people were there who knew me and was starting to say, hey, guess what's going on up here? They're up here saying this, and, we just saw Antifa. All of that, I was going, sounds like a psyop. Sounds like a false flag to me. Let me be patient. And then all of a sudden, turn on MSNBC, CNN, and you see folks climbing up the walls and stuff, and I was going, I bet you there's more to it than that. I know it. It got to be. But nonetheless, this guy right here is upset that all of these people are starting to go bull crap, because we see the contradiction. So folks, even that were casual viewers and followers of this narrative, once you start seeing folks walking around and cops passing them up, patting them on the shoulder, escorting them around, once you start seeing that, and also observing them beat the heck out of this dead horse for 3 years straight now, and you sitting back going, well, wait a minute, man. I hear every year y'all talk about this, even when it ain't J6. They're now putting it on heavy because J6, you know what I'm saying? They're making it a big ceremony and all that stuff. But throughout the whole year, they talk about this. And yet no one ever stops and said, where's the carnage? Now we're starting to say, okay, we done heard that narrative before. What we're starting to look at now is Joe Biden's garbage record. What we're starting to look at now is, did Trump really try to hurt us? Was it that bad? Wait, he did shut that border down. Now all these folks in my neighborhood from another country. Yeah, he did make sure gas was down and inflation was down and all of this. He did make sure that. So now folks are starting to reset and come back to some type of reality. And these folks are starting to realize that, wait a minute, our propaganda ain't working like it did. So now we're going to say anybody who agrees with Trump, supports Trump, can't believe y'all. It's sickening. You guys are horrible.
That's an insult to the hundreds of men and women in law enforcement who fought valiantly before our eyes.
Before our eyes. No, that ain't no insult. When I see folks going, come on, hurry up, waving them in, that ain't no insult. When I see folks opening the door and escorting them around, what are you talking about? It's an insult. So now, of course, guys, if we don't buy into this narrative, y'all, if we don't say Trump is evil and he tried to overthrow the government, y'all, it's an insult to the brave men and women. That tactic is to scare and punk and intimidate and shame all of these conservatives from voting for Trump, from supporting Trump. We got to buy into the lie. We got to say, man, I'm going full steam ahead on this J6 narrative. Man, I'm going to set up some candles in the crib for who? Who died again? Ashley Babbitt? Okay. Well, I'm going to set up candles in a memorial for, not the guy that was out there going, I was scared for my life. Not him. What about Eric Estrada? That guy was so scared. And we're about to see another fake cop up here on this guy's show. Bring in these cats who's trying to sell that book. Who got to these cops? Who promised them, hey, if y'all go along with this narrative and put on a performance, we'll hook you up with book deals. Now, guess what, y'all? The Green Mile, the big dude, the black dude was up there just snorting. That guy, now he's running for Congress. Yeah, go figure. Yeah, we'll hook you up with a whole nother career. You ain't got to go ahead and be a cop no more. You're going to be a propagander.
To uphold their oaths to serve and protect the Capitol against the mob incited by a commander-in-chief who violated his.
Man, I tell you, the more that guy talks, the less bass I hear.
But they violated his.
So now, Trump violated his how? How? He's not going to tell you that. He violated his because he didn't believe the election results. What? He violated his because he told him to walk over and peacefully let your voices be heard. I mean, he violated his by saying it's time to go home now. That's how he violated his. No explanation whatsoever Just straight come out
for Commander-in-Chief who violated his.
Let's continue hearing from this snotty-nosed little slime ball, troll-looking, no bass in the voice, having big old bag of softness, talking and telling all these lies.
In the days and weeks following the insurrection, 5 officers died.
Oh.
Officer Brian Sicknick.
But wait a minute, huh? No base. I want to ask a question, no base. The 5 officers died from what?
I want to know. Sounded like Roscoe, stuffed up nose from Martin.
I heard you getting married.
It came as a surprise. So no base is out here talking about some 5 officers died. How? See, what I should be hearing based on the description that you're throwing out there and the drama that you're adding to it, and you describing the insurrection movie, I should hear, all right now. So you, man, wait until this one scene where the white nationalists, they had came through the walls, right? You know what I'm saying? Came through. All the whiteness was glowing on them and stuff. And these 5 cops was over there like, this might be it, guys. It was great working with you and serving with you. If we're going to go out, we're going to go out in style. And they start firing at the white nationalists. But the bullets seemed to go right through them because they were so white. They were so white. It was like translucently white. Yeah, bullets went right through them. And the white nationalists jumped on them and started scratching. There was blood everywhere. That's what I should hear. I should hear something like that. But these folks went to the crib. Man, dude had to mysteriously start dying from stuff, which I got questions about that. How in the world did 5 cops somehow mysteriously die from this? They've been doing this for a long time. Okay, they've probably dealt with some serious situations, and this right here killed 5 of them. Not to mention what he's about to say happened to one of the propaganda cops, which is very hard to believe. Here we go.
Officer Jeffrey Smith. Officer Howard Liebengood. Yeah. Officer Gunther Hashida. And Officer Kyle DeFreitag. More than 100 others were injured, leaving physical and emotional scars.
There you go.
Former D.C. Metropolitan Police Officer Michael Fanone was there that day.
Here comes the propaganda.
There on the west front of the Capitol, battling the mob. He was dragged down the Capitol steps.
Yeah.
He was tased by someone in the pro-Trump mob.
Show me the footage. There you go. That's my question. Anybody that's been going through the J6 footage, find the fake dude with the tattoos and stuff that's been going on tour? Because I know one thing. That footage also showed that Green Mile, the stuff that he claimed happened to him, didn't happen. Eric Estrada, the stuff that he claimed happened to him, didn't happen. See, that's what that footage showed. So I want to see the footage of this guy being the pepper sprayed and tased and all of this dragged down the steps. I want to see that footage. But nonetheless, that's in his book that just miraculously he's trying to sell on MSNBC. See, that probably came with the deal. Are you willing to sell your soul? Because we'll hook you up with a book deal.
He suffered a heart attack during the fighting.
What? The stress was too much. He hit him with the Doc Holliday. I guess, it was too much for his heart to bear. You're telling me that dude in the midst of fighting? Now, I mean, that's a hard one to believe. How many folks be in the middle of a fight? Now, okay, get back all out. Get all. I'm back. Get your tail. I thought once a heart attack starts, you need some intervention to pull out of it. I mean, was it a slight heart attack? Huh? Was it a flutter? I need to know some details about the heart attack. This man said he had a heart attack in the middle of fighting and somehow survived it and kept, what happened? Like, what? I've seen people have heart attacks. I mean, without people doing something, they don't just snap out of a heart attack. But hey, this guy said he had a heart attack in the middle of fighting. He was tased. All these things happened to him. How do you know he had a heart attack? How did he know he had a heart attack if he kept fighting? How does the doctors and all of that, once you get done with the fight, say, all right, let me check you. Hey, did you know you had a heart attack in the middle of trying to defend the Capitol? Well, I knew something was happening. My chest started hurting a little bit, and then I blacked out for about 2 or 3 minutes. And next, I woke up still fighting. None of that makes sense to me. None of it. But hey, it sells books though, right? Let's continue.
And in a detail that crystallizes the horror that unfolded on January 6th,
Okay.
Fanon recalls insurrectionists shouting, quote, "Kill him with his own gun."
Just like big old big for nothing Green Mouse said, they kept calling me the N-word, lady in a pink MAGA, and we found no footage of that. No audio. Nobody was up there saying, you N-word, because Green Mouse said they start letting them have it after she said it. After she threw it, hey, this N-word voted for Biden. And all of a sudden, Green Mouse said, then they all start calling me the N-word, all of them. It was rapid fire, N-word this, N-word that. And come to find out, there was no video footage of the lady in pink. No folks up there dropping that N-word on him. But we're supposed to believe this guy, right? No footage. I want to see it. I need to see you getting tased, drugged down steps. I need to see you go into cardiac arrest and somehow pull through and keep fighting. Then I want to see the footage and the audio of these folks just saying, hey, grab his gun and kill him with his own gun. Now, I'm not saying maybe some dramatic plants in there to make it seem more dramatic. Maybe some of his buddies undercover might have said, okay, this is going to spice it up. Hey, remember, I don't mean this, okay? All right, because they planted me in here too. Yeah, hey, everybody, let's take his gun and kill him with his own. Are you guys getting that? You getting us? Okay, because we want to make sure that we're caught on tape too, okay? No, we've been here all morning. Yeah, we came with the buses. Down under the thing, we were... Look, you just open the door for me. Dang on it. No, I'm not a real insurrection. Look, I'll meet you in the back. We'll fist bump, and then I'm going to leave, okay? See you back at the station. Huh? We'll meet you back over at Langley. See, now who knows? Could have been some people in there doing that, but I highly doubt it. If Trump supporters was in there doing that, I would like to see the footage, the evidence. But hey, it's in his book.
Despite having lived through that harrowing assault and living with the consequences of that trauma, Fanon has not stopped defending our democracy.
He's still defending our democracy.
He has sought to hold those responsible accountable.
Along with
and he has
books?
an urgent message for the American people as the 2024 presidential campaign season gets underway.
Thank you.
Fanon told HuffPost, quote, ultimately you, the American voter, will be the last line of defense when it comes to preserving democracy as we know it.
Oh, so you're putting it on us, on our shoulders? Trying to guilt us? Yeah, it is up to us. We're trying to hang on to democracy. We're the last line of defense. We know if we don't win in November, democracy is dead. And it's the total opposite of all of us versus what they're saying. They're trying to tell everybody your democracy is at risk. And we're all going, yeah, you're right about that, but not in the context that you guys are saying. It ain't at risk by Trump. The folks that's pushing this garbage is the real threat. But we all know the left always projects. Reprojection. Put your hypocrisy to the test. So here this guy is talking about Michael Falone. Hey, he's up here still fighting for democracy and selling books too. So here he is, y'all, making his, probably not a debut, probably like his 20th appearance on MSNBC because he's a professional appearer on MSNBC and CNN now. Here we go.
And ensuring the peaceful transfer of power. And it's that serious. Officer Fanon, I'm going to try to get through this.
Action.
Thank you for what you did 3 years ago today.
Oh, no, he didn't. Bass in the voice.
Now I'm going to try to get through this. Thank you.
Are you getting this? Do we need to do another take? Was that not believable enough? Okay, I'll try it again. Okay, ready? Okay, wait, here we go. All right, say when. Action.
Officer Falone, I'm going to try to get through this.
You know me. Cry, baby, cry. Cry, baby, cry. Cry, baby, cry. Say what now? Cry, baby, cry. Cry, baby, cry. Go rock style. Cry, baby, cry. Cry, baby, cry. I want to hear this baby cry. The baby on the bus
goes round and round. We do the country version, round and round, round and round. The baby on the bus goes round and round, all through the town. The baby on the bus goes round and round.
I'll go all kind of styles on it. The hip hop version, the baby on the bus goes round and round. I say round and round, it goes round and round. Yo, the baby on the bus goes round and round. What? All through the town. I'm dropping albums on this dude right here. Every style that I can. So here he is, y'all. Concern.
I'm gonna try to get through this. For set my load.
I would laugh him out of the studio. Lucky I'm not the camera guy, because you would hear me buzzing a laugh right there on the set. All right, Kevin, you're going to have to leave. Why? It's funny. I'm watching the show. It's entertaining. So now, here he is, y'all, playing his part.
Please tell me your thoughts on this third anniversary.
Tell me,
Yep, there it is.
tell me your propaganda on this anniversary that we are trying to make seem like it's real.
So now, guys, Nasty got to do her part, y'all. What kind of performance would it be without Nasty? Yeah. Yeah, man, she's as nasty as they come.
Oh, yes, now let's get ready to enjoy the performance from Bag of Bones, Mush Mouth, Monkey Paw Hands, Nasty Pelosi. That's right. I'm the one that put together this whole narrative anyway, so I have to come out and defend it, don't I? That's right. But before I do anything, I need to take my medicine. That's what it is. What? No, don't question me. It is medicine, you peasant. Oh, yes. That's good. That's good, Nasty. Now, where was I? Back to the insurrection.
So let's continue.
Listening to Mushmouth tell us about the insurrection. Here we go. Action. Yes.
You've pointed that out, yet new polls show that with the passage of time, more Republican voters have accepted Donald Trump's lies about that day. They're less likely to say President Biden's win was legitimate. They're less likely to say Trump bears responsibility. They're less likely to say the rioters were violent. How do you explain that? And what
With
can be done
lies?
about it?
Well, the 28% is the 30% that believe Trump no matter what. But again, the fact is the narrative on this is becoming clearer and clearer.
Yes, it is becoming clearer and clearer, and that's exactly why people aren't believing it. The fact is, I need to get this mushmouth fixed. That's what I need to do. The fact is, I need to go through rehab and maybe sign myself into the AA. That's the fact. The fact is, I need to put this monkey paw down underneath the camera because it's distracting to everyone. That's the fact.
So let's continue hearing about the facts, Jack. Oh, yeah, she said the fact is the truth is coming out. Yeah, it is coming out. So look at that on the left. Does that match what Nasty's saying?
And whatever those people, for whatever their attitudes are to other people, whoever they are, God bless them. I wish them well.
No, you don't.
I wish they would accept
Stop
the
lying,
facts
Nancy.
and the truth.
Y'all hear that? She said she wished we would accept the facts and the truth.
God bless them. Now wait, cut. Am I supposed to be saying God bless these peasants? Why would I ask God to bless them? They're peasants. Yes, they're beneath me. No, I'm not going to say that. Oh, God, never mind, I'll do it. Anyway, God bless them, but I wish they would accept the facts and the truth.
That's why you didn't want to release the J6 footage, because you wanted us to accept the facts and the truth. That's what it is. That's why you didn't want to have, Republicans put the people they wanted on that J6 committee, because you was trying to, get us to accept the facts and the truth? Or could it be you were trying to get us to accept the propaganda and the narrative that you guys were putting together? So you handpicked some rhinos, slid them on that J6 committee. Then you coordinated with the fake news to back up the crap. Put on another production. And so you can now claim that Trump was a part of an insurrection and can go after all of his supporters. There you go. But now here she is saying, God bless them, and I wish they would accept my lies. I mean, the facts and the truth.
Trump was a president. People believe a president when he speaks. That's why I was so glad that Joe Biden yesterday at Valley Forge, a bulwark of our strength during the Revolutionary War, where President Washington consolidated the strength of the troops, the unity of the troops, the immunization of our troops to go forward to win the revolution.
Now, I'm telling you right now in this fake bootleg introduction to Joe Biden's devil speech, and she claims she's so happy that he did, I'm hearing a lot of extra in that voice. And that's exactly why I call her mush mouth. It's a whole bunch of mush in that mouth. So there she is. The fact is, Joe Biden, I was so happy when he came out with more propaganda and lies. That's what I was happy for. The last speech wasn't evil enough. You know how I do it. I like it nasty. I like it real nasty. And it wasn't quite nasty enough. I mean, granted, the background was devilish, but he needed to really drive home how evil these Trump supporters are and beneath us. That's what I wanted. Yes, and he did it yesterday. I'm proud of him. A chip off the old block. So let's hear about this speech since Nasty is pumping it up.
And here our president was at that location,
lying,
telling the truth about what happened on
scaring everybody
from a president of the United States.
So I guess Trump wasn't the president. There it is. Now, once again, guys, I really blame the darn Republicans. Look at this. One thing I can say about the Democrats is they put a lot of effort and time in their lies and propaganda. I mean, they coordinate with the media. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff. They are propagandaologists. And I'm saying, good grief, y'all. Y'all just going to sit there and let them throw this mess out year after year, month after month, with no counter information. I mean, I see individual Republicans going out there and doing stuff, but the Republican Party as a whole, it drives me nuts when they sit back and let them go out there and sling this all over. And I'm saying, y'all all know this was no insurrection. Y'all all know that this is being used by them to push this. If you don't, you're dumb. You shouldn't be in Congress. If you're sitting back really in there thinking that, wow, we almost lost our democracy, then you shouldn't be in Congress. So you know, but either you're too scared to get out there and say, hey, this is bull crap, or you're compromised somehow. This is unreal. So now she up here talking about from a real president.
Your book seems to support the theory that has been put out by Republicans that Nancy Pelosi and her staff chose political optics over protecting the Capitol in the days running.
Oh, we got somebody else that dropped a book to counter all those fake cops books. Interesting.
So we just heard Nancy Pelosi tell us that, yes, that's right. We have the truth and the facts.
Well, here's somebody out here that they didn't want to have testified at J6 committee for some reason, y'all. They didn't want him to come out with the truth and the facts. And all of those other cops that just mysteriously died or committed suicide, I wonder if they was opposed to Nasty's version of truth and facts. And who knows? They might have came down with a sudden case of suicidism. Who knows? But let's hear from this cop explain what Nasty was up to.
Up to January 6th. Where is the proof that they were behind not allowing the National Guard to come?
Well, I think you can look at it from a couple different aspects. One, when I went to ask for the National Guard on Sunday, January 3rd,
what happened?
it was her, Sergeant-at-Arms, Paul Irving, that denied the initial request, citing a concern for optics. I think there was a well-known concern that she had referred to federal agents and National Guard on city streets during the 2020 protests as stormtroopers. So I think that was some of...
Yeah, plus the those extra troops would have gotten in the way of your insurrection. There you go. Your insurrection, not Trump's, because Trump didn't launch one. See, so those extra troops would have sabotaged the whole plot that you and some very powerful deep state actors and stuff said, all right, here's what we're going to do to stop this MAGA movement here. We know they're all coming. Let's go ahead and set a trap for them. Yeah, so that's what would happen if you would have allowed these people. So you would prefer the optics of people climbing up the side of the Capitol. See, those are optics you want. The optics she wanted was her walking through the halls with her daughter videotaping it like it's a documentary, then go out there and sell it Those were the optics she wanted. She wanted them optics down in that basement talking about, where's Trump now? I wish he was here. I'd punch him in the face. That's what I would do. I'd go to jail. She wanted those optics, y'all. She didn't want the optics, though, of inside that Capitol where people were just walking around confused. She didn't want that. That's why she didn't release that. She didn't want that stuff. No, we're not going to release the video footage of the inside. We're just going to go ahead and selectively snap clips of what took place on the outside. And I still question that initial breach and those people climbing up those walls. Especially, and I can't find it. I'm going to have to go back and find that video I had. I had a video about 3 years ago, right after this happened, of a police officer, two of them, standing behind a crowd of Trump supporters who were just calmly standing outside, minding their own business. And then you see one of them cops look around like this and take a flashbang and throw it right in that crowd. Boom! And the crowd went crazy. Especially when I see stuff like that, I got to find that clip. I'm going to have to go back through all my archives. But let's finish hearing about how Nasty didn't want the optics. So let's see.
Of his concern associated with that. And then you also got to look at the oversight structure that they had in place for the Capitol Police. One, I'm the only police chief that I'm aware of in the United States of America that has a federal law preventing me from calling in federal resources both before an event and also while I'm facing an emergency like I faced on January 6th. Those are laws put in place and voted on by Congress.
Okay.
And also when you think of the oversight put in place for the Capitol Police, it's political oversight that reports to political parties within Congress. No matter how you cut it, when your oversight of a police department is reporting to a political party, that's a recipe for disaster.
Oh, yes.
This is so explosive. The accusation that you make, an allegation in the book, that this was Speaker Pelosi acting politically. We reported on this back in December as well. That this is what you said.
Look, there's the optics. That's what she wanted. Look at that. Her and Mr. Burns down there with that mask on for no reason. Yeah, mask for nothing. Yeah, and Nasty Pelosi, hers is off her face. She's a super spreader. Somebody should have said, wait, before we talk about the insurrection, let's get to this mask. You were putting people's lives in danger down there with no mask on, Nasty. Oh, but then again, just the same Nasty didn't have her mask on while she was getting her hair done. That's right. So you see Mr. Burns down there with those glasses down on the bottom of his nose? Are you getting this, everyone? Does it look like we're really doing something? Okay. Come on, Nasty. All right, what did we talk about? Where's everyone? Why is this happening? It's funny. We know why it's happening. That's why. Anyway, you didn't record that, did you? You didn't record it. So her and Mr. Burns is down there pretending that they are on it. They're doing what Trump didn't do. They're trying to stop the insurrection. They tried to stop the insurrection by what? Turning down 10 to 20,000 troops? Okay.
She did. I go back to this question. What is the real proof that she knew that the National Guard was asked for by the Capitol Police, by you, before January 6th?
Oh, okay.
The proof that she was aware, again, that have to go into statements or testimony from Paul Irving, possibly his phone records, which I think have not been released so far.
Hello?
That would relate to my going in Sunday morning, January 3rd, requesting the National Guard. I think when I talk about it, and I'd written it and it was in the book. Well,
wait, January 3rd, y'all. Let me say January 3rd, 4th, 5th. So they had 2.5 days to go ahead and say, yes, that's right, bring in the National Guard. Not to mention, Trump's camp also confirmed that he offered 10 to 20,000 additional troops, and she turned it down, her and Bowser. And I wonder why they would do that. Oh, it was the optics. Okay. But now here they all are in the basement claiming that they're hiding for their lives and stuff like that. I wonder why they didn't want to hear from this Capitol Police officer, though.
Before Mike Stinger's passing, when I went and talked to Mike Stinger and said, hey, Mike, Mr. Stinger or Mike, and I asked about, when I went to go see him on January 3rd, he so quickly turned around and asked for me to call the commanding general of the National Guard. Oh. It made me think he had some heads up I was coming. When I asked him about that, he specifically said Paul Irving had called him in advance of me arriving and said, son is coming. He came to my office asking for the National Guard. Speaker Pelosi is never going to go for that. We have to come up with another idea.
She can't go for that, no, because it'll mess up her insurrection. And I'm wondering what happened to Stinger. He's dead already? Jeez. A lot of folks around that whole J6 thing and just suddenly just start dropping like flies. Boy, I tell you. But hey, I mean, I'm not suggesting anything. It's just ironic that after he name dropped her and all of this was over, he done checked out. This guy right here better watch out too. But let's continue.
That was something he said right off the bat. And Mike, he's he's an operational person, but for him to come up with that idea that quickly, he had to have some advanced knowledge that was coming by.
Yes,
I'm sure he did. Now, I just saw somebody say they're a new subscriber. Welcome to the channel. Please hit that like button. Make sure as a new subscriber, you set your notifications to all because they will unsubscribe you against your knowledge. So now let's get back to Nasty's lies.
I do believe that. And it is a most unfortunate situation. Our founders knew that we could have a rogue president.
No, our founders knew that we can have a rogue party of Democrats that tries to overthrow the democracy you claim you're protecting.
So yeah, she's saying our founders knew it. So what are you saying, Nasty?
They didn't realize that at the same time we could have a rogue Senate and Congress. I do think that after all this happened, poop on the floor of the Congress, defecation, blood.
That poop should have been on you. There you go. So here she is talking about that.
I never thought they can have a rogue Congress.
Yeah, we're looking at one. When you guys seize power, that's where the rogueness begun. That's where it started. As soon as y'all got back in the power, took over any branch of the government, all of a sudden, all of this mess starts taking place. All these stupid investigations, and you had the power to stop this if you would have just accepted those troops, but you didn't want that. It was the optics of stopping your insurrection. But yeah, she's talking about, now I want to throw mud on all of these Republicans who didn't buy into my lies. They're also responsible for this. These ultra MAGA peasants.
Disrespect for the people who maintain the Capitol, coming after Pence, coming after me and the rest. The great.
Look, she can barely get those lies out of that much mouth.
They're coming after me and my pants and all that.
That mush is building up. When you start to lying, that mush start to flying. So here she is.
They're coming after me and my pants and all of us. Who would have thought that could happen? There you go. Did that sound believable? No? Well, take two.
Here we go.
Majority of the Republicans in the House voted not to accept.
So today we gathered.
So now here comes Joe, y'all. As we come to the end of this show, Joe is now back. Part 2 of the worst, most fear tactic speech ever. Now, we all know what fear, my acronym for fear is. False evidence appearing real. The goal that we just saw attempted by the guy with no bass in his voice on MSNBC,
Nasty Pelosi,
and now Joe Biden, is to create false evidence that appears real to the public. Stuff that people aren't seeing in reality, but for some reason they're willing to just believe it because these are people who they don't see as corrupt, evil dictators. They don't see them like that. They see them as, these are leaders. Why would our leaders do this? These are people in the media. Surely the media wouldn't be in cahoots with these politicians and all of them are just making this up. They don't realize that this stuff has been being put in place for decades. They don't realize that we don't have a free press. They don't realize that these Democrats and Republican rhinos, they're a uniparty. They don't realize that these people have put their system in place to protect them and their power. So they're under the delusion that surely all of these people wouldn't coordinate this. Of course they would. If they all coordinated it for the last probably 4 or 5 decades to ensure that they remain in power and protect the system that they put in place. They won't bring people into the system that ain't willing to play with the system. So now, here comes Joe out there dropping that fear. But look at the side right here that doesn't match what he's saying.
New year, some 246 years later, just one day before January 6th. A day forever shared in our memory because it was on that day that we nearly lost America.
We did?
We lost it all. Let's be clear. But
We nearly lost America in J6. Did y'all feel like that? I didn't feel like that. As I watched it on TV, I'm like, okay, so they just all left and went home. So because of that, we almost lost America based on this footage right here. Now, somebody go and get the sun out of Joe Biden's eyes. I mean, how did the sun get inside the building? That's what I'm asking, because as he's giving his speech, his eyes are tight. That dude is straining on that teleprompter right there. Hey, we almost lost our. So let's finish hearing from this evil villain push this lie and these fear tactics. But yet, that's what he's saying, almost took our democracy. Look at that to the left.
the 2020 election.
Yeah.
Trump exhausted every legal avenue available to him to overturn the election. Every one.
Did he?
But the legal path just took Trump back to the truth.
What truth?
That I'd won the election. And he was.
You hear that, liar? That I had one that cheated. We had put together the most extensive voter fraud program. That's what he said. Came right out of his own mouth. But there you go. That they came back to the truth that I won the election with 81 million votes, y'all. 81 million. Most popular president of all times. There you go. Creepy. The guy that said, I like kids jumping on my lap and rubbing up my legs. That guy. Yeah, most popular of all times.
Was a loser. Trying to rewrite the facts of January 6th, Trump is trying to steal history. The same way he tried to steal the election.
The hypocrisy and the projection is rich. Trump's trying to steal history. You're trying to create a false history. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it seem like, oh, we almost lost our democracy. America was almost overthrown by all of these extremists. If we don't succeed, y'all, you know, they're going to write history in a whole different light. Once upon a time in America, we were in danger from this extremist radical movement called MAGA. Even though they stood for Make America Great Again, translation of that, Make America White Again. It was driven and headed up by this white nationalist, orange hair man called Donald Trump, who led these evil white nationalists on an insurrection. They're going to change history if we don't combat this and if we don't win. They're going to change it. And they're going to also come after all of us. He's swearing up and down, though, that now Trump's coming after everybody. No. They're licking their chops to come after all of us that do support the MAGA movement. They're going, man, if we could just get over this last election, we could just steal this one somehow or stop Trump. Then we can set our sights on really putting things in place to make sure nothing like this ever rises up again. We'll never have another MAGA movement again if we don't win. It's that simple. They will infiltrate. They will use all type of tactics to disperse and to discredit and to go after and to intimidate and to scare folks into saying, let me be quiet and accept the system that they put in place. I'm going to believe I got two choices in my voting here. There's the rhino that they put up, and then there's the corrupt Democrat that they put up. Let's see. Well, I guess the lesser evil one is the rhino. That's what they are hoping to do. But they got to get past Trump before they do that. So here he is doing his best, y'all, to scare everybody with the boogeyman.
But we knew the truth. Because we saw it with our own eyes.
We saw it with our own eyes. Like
It
what?
wasn't like something, a story being told. It was on television repeatedly.
Like what?
We saw it with our
own eyes? There it is. We did see it with our own eyes, Joe. Nina goes walking and when she passes, he's one, she passes goes. Oh, yeah. And when she walks, it's like a summer that swings so cool and sways so gentle. When she passes, he's one, she passes goes. Oh, there's that insurrection taking place.
Right, going right through. There they are.
And our
In Statuary Hall. Now that is the area
is that
by
the Walt
which
Whitman camera?
You see them trying to hype it up. Not enough action in this scene. Not enough insurrection going on in that scene. There they are, coming in. I know it looks like they're just slowly walking and stuff, but trust me, they have evil intentions. That's their deceptiveness. They're pretending to just be shuffling along, but
That's capturing those, I believe.
no.
They are inside Statuary Hall. This is a legendary.
Look at those very polite Insurrectionists that are following the rules. Man, they didn't even decide to tear down those velvet ropes. Now look, guys, we're going to go in and we're going to take the Capitol. But hey, remember, remain between the velvet ropes, okay? Like we're on a tour, okay? All right, we're not going to tear up the joint. I mean, how are we going to run it if we tear it up, okay? So stay within the ropes. Hey, what are you doing? Pick the statue up, okay? All right, put that down. Yeah, there you go. See? And watch the commentator from fake news CNN try to make it seem like this is fascinating. And what we're seeing here is
legendary place where all of us who've covered Capitol Hill, it's hard to believe what we're seeing right there. They're just walking through.
He shouldn't even say that. It's hard to believe what we're seeing right there. They're just walking through. Exactly. That is hard for me to believe what I'm seeing right there based on what you guys are saying took place. I'm sitting there like, you're right. It's hard to believe what I'm seeing right here. Every single one of these insurrectionists are walking between the velvet ropes and they're just meandering about taking pictures like they're on a tour. The most well-behaved insurrectionists I've ever seen. And here he's trying to make it seem like that's bad. Look at that. They're just walking through right here. It's hard to believe what I'm doing here. Prostituting myself. I never thought that I'd be up here trying to make something like this look like it's an insurrection. But anyway, back to that because I'm making money. I'm making money. They're paying me to be a prostitute.
Capitol Police.
Trump's mob wasn't a peaceful protest.
They weren't?
It was a violent assault.
It was a violent assault like that?
They were insurrectionists, not patriots.
What?
They weren't there to uphold the Constitution.
They weren't? They were there to take pictures and walk past those cops? Did you see that? The side clip to Joe Biden's angry, fearful speech? When they were just walking past those cops somehow. Maybe the cops didn't realize there was an insurrection going on. There's a tour? The building's open for tour? I didn't know we were doing tours today. That's crazy. Okay, people, carry on. Oh, you need to know where the restrooms are? They're right down there, ma'am. There you go. Okay. Oh, you want to pray for us? Come on over, guy with the horns. You can pray for us. Oh, you know what? I'll show you around. Yeah, maybe those Trump supporters that were in the Capitol dressed like Trump supporters before the doors opened, they might have thought, hey, guys, it's tour day. When they look back up at that camera of somebody in the control room and pointed out that door, see, the magnetic door that wouldn't open, if you didn't see my show that talks about the magnetic door, go back and check that one out. But when they pointed out that door and was like, well, we got a tour today. I guess that's what he was saying. We got a tour today. We didn't know it was closed. Can you open? Oh, yeah, my fault. Click it. And the doors just opened up and in came the insurrectionists. Interesting. Wow. That's crazy. Because this ain't matching the devil speech that Joe's dropping.
They're there to destroy the Constitution. Over 140 police officers are injured. Jill and I attended the funeral of police officers who died as a result of the events of that day.
As a result of the events that day, another lie that's never questioned. This kills me, man. How about the Republicans take that soundbite right there and put it in a video to show how much Joe Biden lies and then show the truth right next to it. Just, let the public know that these people are lying about this crap, but they let Joe get away with gazillions and gazillions of lies. Gazillions. You could destroy this man's campaign just with a reel of all his lies. But here he is.
Trump won't do what an American president must do. He refuses to denounce political violence.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace.
That don't sound like
we have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period.
He doesn't want anybody hurt. But we just heard the evil puppet. That's why I don't have no mercy on him up there. Trump refused to do what any person should do is to condemn political violence. And here's Trump saying we don't want anybody hurt. The man that they claim launched the insurrection, he should be going, what are you guys doing? Hurry, continue, press forward. Should he be doing that? Shouldn't he be saying attack the police, overthrow them, take the Capitol? Hey, did y'all bring me Mike Pence's you know what yet? Huh? Did you bring me Nasty's mush mouth? What kind of insurrectionist are you? You're failing at your job. You're walking around aimlessly. No sense of urgency. You didn't bring weapons. Man, I should have picked a better group of insurrectionists. That's what he should be saying. But instead, he's saying what Joe Biden said he didn't say.
Period of time.
Donald Trump is it. Donald Trump.
The guys with the horns.
I am asking for everyone in the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect our law enforcement, men and women in blue.
Wait a minute. So the leader of the insurrection sent the message to his insurrectionists that the man with the horns read before he even entered the Capitol, telling everybody, hey, man, look, our president said, everybody chill out, go home. We don't want no trouble. There it is. But here's the guy, the evil puppet. That's why I had to let him have it tonight. When I watched this speech, I almost couldn't wait until Monday. I'm sitting there like, I know I told him I wasn't going to do a show over the weekend, but this evilness can't be overlooked. This big fat lie, this big fat bag of nothing. Oh, I couldn't wait until Monday. That's why I'm giving it to him. I'm going to give him some more. You want me to give him some more? Y'all want me to give him some more? Should I give him some more? I'm going to give him some more. Here we go.
Hear me clearly. I'll say what Donald Trump won't. Political violence is never, ever acceptable in the United States political system. Never.
Never.
It has no place in democracy.
You see that acting job? Now I wonder how many shots of adrenaline they had to pump into this dude to get him to go through the devil speech. I wonder how many lines, like Tony Montana, okay, did he have to do before he can get up and give his devil speech, huh? Yeah. So now let's finish here because he said never, ever. Really?
None. What's Trump done? Instead of calling them criminals, he's called these insurrections
Can't even say
patriots.
Patriots. But wait a minute. What's this?
Wreck their force and peaceful protesters.
The vast majority of the protesters have been peaceful.
And they're going and just going through
That
the
was
street
Joe.
to make it seem like there are problems going on. When
Wait a minute. Y'all just see that the vast majority of the protesters have been peaceful. What you just said is never, ever accepted political violence, and Trump wouldn't condemn and this and that and all the lies I'm telling. But look at that. That's Joe and his whole crew coming up with a different term than these violent protesters, rioters, all of that stuff. For some reason, they're changing the words.
all that's happening are peaceful protests. And our peaceful protesters' ability to get out at night.
Most of these protests have been peaceful.
I applaud these protesters. The majority of these protesters are peaceful. They have been peaceful for weeks.
It has continued, for the most part, peaceful.
Peaceful. We had a number of peaceful protests.
Wow. Democrats have ruined their cities. Don't let them destroy America, which they're trying to do. See, because remember, guys, it's only mostly peaceful protesters when their angry mob is released on society. There you go. So Trump called them political prisoners, and Joe and all of them called their people who destroyed our country for almost a whole year and some. I mean, it was strong over the summer of love. That was the height. But they had started that mess as soon as Trump won. Political violence started taking place on the left as soon as Trump won. And yet they didn't come out and condemn it. They winked at it. In fact, Kamala Chameleon Harris, instead of pardoning people, why do that? Just raise money to get them bailed out. Go tear up these cities. Don't worry about it. We got you. We'll get you out of jail if you do our bidding. These are the most evilest. I mean, I feel like I'm watching a movie. I can't believe how evil these people are and how bad America has gotten, and the threat that we're looking at in regards to these very obvious evil, tyrannical people in coordination with a whole bunch of other little entities that are literally trying to take over the country and have a real insurrection and launch real tyranny and all of that. Destroy the democracy that they claim they're defending. It is so obvious what they're doing. And it's like I'm watching a movie. I'm like, man, I can't even believe this is real. You would think this would be in some evil Bond movie. And some movie, did you go, man, I mean, that would never happen in America and be this obvious. It's that obvious. So there you go. That's how much they feel about the never, ever acceptance of violence and political violence. There you go. Look at that.
They're patriots. And he promised to pardon them if he returns to office. And now these MAGA voices.
Instead of bailing them out, there you go. Partner. For what? Why would he partner? Could it be because they were just walking around the dang on Capitol and they're doing like 2-3 years in jail?
Who know the truth about Trump on January 6th have abandoned the truth and abandoned the democracy. They
Can barely get these lies out. So let me understand. The Republicans who know the truth about Donald Trump on January 6th don't have the gonads, the ones that are rhinos, don't have the gonads to come out and say, hey, man, hey, pump your brakes, kid. That wasn't no insurrection. Y'all are making that mess up. I was there. We were back to work in 2 hours. See, that's what the rhinos don't have the guts to do. They want to see Trump gone. And the real MAGA Republicans that are saying that's bullcrap, of course, he's talking about them. They're also part of the insurrection because we got to get them out. We got to get them out. We don't want real Republicans. We want controlled opposition. We want some rhinos.
They made their choice. Now the rest of us, Democrats, independents, mainstream Republicans, we have to make our choice.
No, they're not mainstream Republicans, man. Call them for what they really are. Don't be changing up terms. Rhinos. Controlled opposition. The mainstream Republicans. Your friends. That's what you should call them.
I know mine, and I believe I know America's. We'll defend the truth, not give in to the big lie.
You really? You really believe you know America's? So is that why you're just getting destroyed in the polls? Yeah, I know mine. All right, I'm trying to protect my life and all my crooked, corrupt friends' lives too. Yeah, but I think I know America's. Well, if that's the case, you should be leading in the polls. That's what should happen. But your lies and your fear tactics are no longer working, you evil puppet.
We'll embrace the Constitution and the Declaration, not abandon it. America, as we begin this election year, we must be clear. Democracy is on the ballot.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Not the economy, not how we look on the world stage. Yeah, no, not that border. Not all of my raggedy record for the last 3 years. That's not on the ballot. Not those gas prices. Not that inflation, man. It's democracy that most people don't even understand. We're in a republic anyway. I guess our democracies. Wait a minute, how do we lose it again? What? Wait. So you don't want me to focus on like the real issues, just this big globe overriding just theme of democracies on the ballot? What does that look like? What do you mean when you had said that, Joe? Well, let's see what his version of what democracy looks like.
Well, California is now looking into whether it can remove former President Donald Trump from the state's presidential primary ballot. The lieutenant governor is using a ruling by the Colorado Supreme Court as her basis.
Preserving and strengthening our American democracy.
Trump is disqualified from the ballot.
What?
The Colorado Supreme Court
This don't sound like no
affirmed the
democracy.
district court's decision that he engaged in insurrection.
Maine's Secretary of State, Shanna Bellows, a Democrat, ruling that Trump should be removed from the state's ballot.
What?
We just have to demonstrate that he will not take power.
Creepy.
If he does.
The Constitution and our democracy. Is that what it is? Or we're going to have to make sure demonstrate he doesn't take power by me weaponizing the DOJ and the FBI and coordinating with the media and the Democrats and the rhinos to try to get Trump off the ballot while lying to the American people saying, democracy is on the ballot. No, you're trying to take democracy off the ballot. Trump being on the ballot is democracy, but you're trying to take him off the ballot while telling us democracy's on the ballot. This is unbelievable. I feel like I'm watching a movie, man. That's what I feel. I'm like, no, surely these are horrible actors. I mean, this is like, I know the plot. I can see what they're doing. I've already figured out the end of the movie.
On making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
I certainly think there are numerous reasons that Donald Trump is disqualified from being the president.
Because he might beat Joe Biden? Because he's an American first president? Because he sees through our corruption? Because he's not going to let you guys continue to operate like the cabal you are? Is that it? Yeah, that's why. Because you're not going to convince me that it's because he violated the 14th Amendment, launched an insurrection that looked like peaceful protesters walking around inside the Capitol. That's what you're not going to convince me of. Neither is the dude with no bass in his voice and all the rest of the fake news. That's why they're mad, because people aren't buying this garbage. And here they are telling us, though, they're protecting democracy, y'all. It's on the ballot.
But to know the law here is to understand that Donald Trump is disqualified, and there's nothing undemocratic about it.
You hear that? You hear the poodle? You hear the poodle up top and no bass right there? There's nothing undemocratic about us removing Donald Trump off the ballot. Man, you gotta be, like, your political IQ has to be so low to watch these networks and hear these folks get up there and say this and go, well, yeah, I agree. Nothing undemocratic about that. So you're telling me these folks can't even see that by trying to remove Trump off the ballot is actually undemocratic, and they just get out there and they gaslight everybody. Let me hear it. I got to hear Poodle up top one more time.
If he does run, making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
Go.
I certainly think there are numerous reasons that Donald Trump is disqualified from being the president.
But to know the law here is to understand that Donald Trump is disqualified, and there's nothing undemocratic about it.
There you go. Wow. Now look here, I know I'm standing here over a body that I just, terminated. But to know the law, there's nothing, against the law about me just terminating this person right here. There you go. We all know the law. Murder's wrong. But there's nothing unlawful about what I just did. It's unreal. So this guy right here got the nerve to come out there with that big poodle sitting on top of his head and tell us that, no, man, we want the man off the ballot. And this right here is not undemocratic by removing him. And then let's get back to creepy.
Democracy is on the ballot.
It's on the ballot, y'all.
Santa came early last night when the Colorado Supreme Court ruled that Donald Trump is disqualified.
Listen to the idiots cheering. Listen to the idiots cheering for their own demise. Those sheep, those seals in the they don't even realize they're cheering for their own demise. They have allowed these people to convince them that removing Trump because he's dangerous and he was an insurrectionist is really defending our democracy. They have no idea. It's allowing them to continue controlling our democracy. Continue keeping these bubbleheads in the matrix of thinking that we have a democracy and a republic and we can choose our presidents. That's what democracy is about. As these fools support taking Trump off the ballot, thinking, yay! I will be the guy sitting in there, first of all, mad that I'm there. Like, okay, how'd I even end up at this show? Secondly, what are you guys clapping for? Are you all idiots? I'd ruin the whole show. And look at this guy. Look at him.
Well, I think it's certainly self-evident.
Self-evident.
We saw it all. Now, whether the 14th Amendment applies, I'll let the court make that decision. But he certainly supports.
Let the court make the decision, but I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know that, hey, yeah, Trump is an insurrectionist. Therefore, yeah, he should be removed from the ballot because I can't beat him. You think this bag of bones right here is going to get out there and go toe-to-toe with Trump? No. I want y'all to do what you did the first time. Make me the president again. Put together the most extensive voter fraud program that I leaked out in a moment of Freudian slip, please. Would you do that for me? As he gets out there and says, yeah, there's no doubt Trump committed to insurrection. So obviously he shouldn't be on the ballot.
Insurrection. There's no question about it. None. Zero.
But democracy's on the ballot.
He seems to be doubling down on about everything. Anyway, I got to go do this.
Yeah, I bet you
If you
go.
believe he engaged in insurrection under the plain meaning of the 14th Amendment, you believe he's ineligible
Here
to
she
be
goes.
president.
We should note you sent a letter just hours ago to California.
Yes, nasty. They asked her that question, and hopefully I left the clip in there where she stumbled all over that answer. It was hilarious.
So let's continue. More of them protecting our democracy.
California Secretary of State to, quote, explore every legal option to remove former President Donald Trump from California's 2024 primary ballot.
We are in uncharted territory in our country, and the decision out of Colorado is a very significant fact.
Uncharted territory. All of this, but hey, You know what? We're willing to go there. We're willing to risk our whole setup when it comes down to our voting process and our republic and folks being really disenfranchised. We're willing to risk all that because, hey, we think Trump was a part of an insurrection that we can't describe. We won't sit back and define. We can't give you details about it. He hasn't been on a trial and through a trial. He hasn't been convicted of. He hasn't been accused of. So us evil politicians and folks in the media who have every incentive in the world to get out there and straight up lie about Trump. We don't have a motive. Our motive is pure. Our motive is not to win an election and keep Trump off the ballot. Our motive is truly to protect democracy. We're looking out for you people. That's about as nuts as when MSNBC and CNN cuts Donald Trump off during speeches and comes back to their audience of bubbleheads and tell them, you were just listening to the president there. He's, of course, pushing lies and propaganda. So therefore, we cannot let you hear this. We won't subject you to it. We're protecting you from his... That's as nuts as it is. And the people just apply, yeah, thank you. Thank you for keeping me the sheep that I am. It's unreal.
The Supreme Court of Colorado determines in an examination of the facts that Donald Trump is an insurrectionist and therefore is disqualified from being on the ballot. Certainly here in California, we have to look at that information and make the same determination here.
Yeah, we got to make this. Oh, here she is. I left it in there, y'all. Here's Nasty Pelosi trying to explain Trump being an insurrectionist and yet balance the lie of our democracy. And of course, we support the Constitution and the courts. The courts got to make the decision. Okay. Nasty Part 2. Action.
Laws, those are up to the states. They have different laws from state to state. I don't think he should ever have been the Constitution. But nonetheless, there's a view of the Constitution.
Y'all hear her suck up that mush? Nevertheless, how can I get these lies out of this mush mouth? Someone go get my medicine. That might help. So let's continue hearing her lie through that mush mouth.
Constitution in Article 14, Section 3, that he should not be able to run for president. But that's not the point. The point now...
You hear her try to balance out the lie? The Constitution, got that all down to a science. Article 3, Section 2 says that he shouldn't be able to run for president. But that's not the point. That's not the point. That is the point. You left that out there for a reason. Oh, you knew exactly where to go to. Article 3, Section 2, all that stuff. But that's not the point. Don't think I'm out here trying to promote and suggest that Trump should be removed from the ballot for political gain. Don't think I'm out here trying to say Trump should be removed from the ballot because I really don't believe in democracy. Dad, don't think that. But I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to get out there and do that. But yes, he should be. I mean, according to that. But that's not the point. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to act like, oh, there's forces greater than us that should decide and make that decision.
Is, that, again, different states have different laws. We don't think in California that it applied in our state. That's what the decision was made here. But anyway, not to go into that because that's very intricate.
Oh.
What is very clear
is
that the American people want us to honor our oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That's not true. That ain't clear. What you talking about? I don't want you defending me, mush. I don't want you taking that monkey paw out there trying to defend me, man. Get out the way, bag of bones. Yeah, here she is trying to say, well, it's clear. See, it's very intricate because, see, they want it to be intricate. They want this to not make sense to the average viewer. They want people confused because they're more susceptible to the lies in the narrative. They don't want to really break down the whole, 14th Amendment and how it's ridiculous to think that Trump committed insurrection. They don't want you to do that. They want this to be debated and seen foggy. That's why they picked this. Yeah, they didn't pick something that's very cut and dry to try to stop Trump because we, as modern day citizens, We know most of the laws that would get you in trouble enough to, get you thrown off a ballot. But when you dig up something from the, 200 years ago and try to drop that out there and say, well, yeah, according to this, even though nobody's ever been charged of it, this is unprecedented. We're in uncharted territories. And according to this fly, and it got to all come together in a perfect storm to make sense. And all of this stuff got to go. They want it like that, so that this way they can slide in through all of the ambiguity and say, well, it's just interpretation. According to California, who's a very liberal state that want to stop Trump, then it makes sense to us that he committed an insurrection. Yeah. Oh, and then if you're wondering, really it comes down to the people wanting us to do this. No, that's not it. See, because if that was the case, Joe Biden would be ahead in the polls. So this is what she said. Oh, wait. Here's the same lady who just said, no, that Trump is clear that Trump committed an insurrection. Action, this is her in her little short film down in the basement.
Come to my punch him out. This is why I would pay this. You've been waiting for this, for trespassing on the Capitol grounds.
Y'all hear her? I've been waiting for this moment all my life. So here she is. I've been waiting for this moment. Yeah, I can feel the insurrection coming in the night.
Your freedom is on the ballot.
It is?
Yes, we'll be voting on many issues. On the freedom to vote and have your vote counted.
Wait a minute.
The freedom of choice.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I just almost let that slide. Did y'all hear this bump? Did y'all hear the evil puppet just say our freedom is on the ballot? Excuse me, puppet. Excuse me, creepy evil. How so? I mean, least show me some evidence of Trump. See, they're acting like we didn't live through Trump's last presidency when they told us then that Trump was going to take away all our freedoms. He's going to, send everybody back to Africa or back down to South America. He's going to jail all of. They said that before. And none of that happened. Where is the evidence that supports that our freedoms are on the ballot? Like what? They need to start slinging out stuff. Voter rights and stuff. How? Just because you need an ID.
Choice. The freedom to have a fair shot. The freedom from fear.
And that nasty cough. Hack that mess up, you slime ball. That's what happened. He's hacking up evil. When you're that evil, you got to cough it up. So here he is. The freedom of choice, the freedom that, what are you? You're the one that took away freedoms. You're the dictator. What are you talking about? He's just saying stuff. Take away our freedoms to do this and freedom to do that. Trump's not saying, hey, you can't drive your man truck that uses gasoline. You can't have a house with coal in it. Yeah, Trump's not saying, hey, you can't have an AR-15. He's not saying that. He's not saying, you know what, there's a such thing called hate speech that we determine that you're not allowed to say, and I'm going to use my DOJ and my FBI, all them to go ahead and be all on the internet's mess. He's not saying that. But this guy just coming out, your freedom's on the ballot.
And we'll debate and disagree. Without
you know what else is on that ballot? That phlegm you just coughed up. Let's continue.
Democracy. No progress is possible. Think about it. The alternative to democracy is dictatorship. My message to unvaccinated Americans is this. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin. And your refusal has cost all of us.
That's very dictator-ish. I'm just saying. I mean, hey, if I had to choose which one of these presidents have more tendencies of a dictator, I don't see Trump saying that. When Trump came out with the vaccine, it was a choice. There you go. There was no evil speech threatening the people. Well, none of that. No. Yeah. See, you're the one who did that. Trump never came out with the devil background. Yeah, just as a point of reference, this is the first evil speech. Yeah, the first fearful tactic. Look at that.
Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans is a clear and present danger to our democracy. But while the threat to American democracy is real, we must be stronger, more determined, and more committed to saving America.
I'm starting to think this is the same speech. That's what I'm starting to think. This sounds just like the last devil speech. See, so here he is. Same fear tactics. Ain't even changed it up. Hoping that the bubbleheads will fall for it.
Democracy.
Democracy.
And MAGA Republicans are destroying American democracy. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. MAGA Republicans. Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans. MAGA Republicans. MAGA Republicans. MAGA Republicans. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards. American democracy only works in a democracy.
It only works if we run it. If the Democrats win. That's the only way it works. If we're not winning and controlling it, then it doesn't work. The only fair elections are the ones we win. There you go. That's how it is, man. That's democracy. That's Democrat democracy.
Democracy. Democracy itself. The assault on American democracy. The threat to American democracy is real. Democracy. American democracy is guaranteed. Big old words. Democracy. Defending our democracy is fatal to democracy. That will secure our democracy. Our democracy isn't perfect. This is a democracy. It always has been. Our democracy. We preserve democracy. Democracy and that democracy. Democracy. For saving American democracy.
He
democracy.
said it, y'all.
Democracy. A democracy.
Obviously, him just keep saying it means he believes it, right? Huh? As he sits back and demonizes half the country and say they're responsible for trying to overthrow our democracy. We don't believe in the Constitution. We're extremists. We're radicals. And the ultra MAGA and democracy. They're destroying democracy. I'm protecting democracy. But the ultra MAGA folks is destroying. As you try to get Trump off the ballot, and that's a whole bunch of democracy lies that I'm hearing. Democracy, democracy. Now get Trump off the ballot.
Normal. God bless you all. Democracy.
Democracy.
So, now whether the 14th Amendment applies, we'll let the court make that decision.
There you go.
But he certainly supported an insurrection. There's no question about it.
Nope.
None. Zero. The rule of one, not the rule of we, the people. We all know who Donald Trump is.
We do.
The question we have to answer is, who are we?
Yeah.
That's what's at stake. Who are we? In your hands, as you talk to your family and friends, cast your ballots. The power is in your hands.
In our hands?
After all we've been through in our history.
Wait a minute, Joe. No. Yeah, man. You don't want the power to be in our hands there, boy. You puppet. What you talking about, man? Talking about something. The power's in your hands. Only if you vote for me. Because we're trying to take it right out of your hands by getting Trump off the ballot. We don't even want you to have a choice. See? And that fool I talking about, the power's in your hands. And democracy. As we try to take it away from you and take it out of your hands. We can't trust it in y'all hands. See, but we're defending democracy. See, only if there's only one conclusion, which is we win. That's the only democracy we're talking about.
Independence to civil war, to 2 world wars, to a pandemic, to insurrection. I refuse to believe
Look at the acting.
in 2024 we Americans will choose to walk away from what's made us the greatest nation in the history of the world. Freedom, liberty, democracy is still a sacred cause. Think about what you think about.
Yep. That's the Joe I know right there. My butt's been wiped and think about what you think about at the time. As he closes with that bullcrap line. I refuse to think that and this and that, and it's in your hands. Well, thank you, Joe. I'm glad you mentioned that. And once the Supreme Court, and they better, once they settle all of this bullcrap about the 14th Amendment, and folks become more desensitized to y'all lies of the 14th Amendment and J6 and democracy's on the line and Trump's a dictator and he's this and this and that. If nothing goes wrong, if these folks don't do something drastic, we're going to watch that evil man that you just watched lie about all of us, lie about Trump, Nasty Pelosi, the fake news. We're going to watch them crumble in November. I mean, I ain't going to lie to y'all. If this goes the way it should go, long as they don't do nothing stupid, I'm going to gloat. I'm going to have a gloat party, and you're all going to be invited to it. I'm going to have a celebration like Rick James. I'm going to sit back and find every clip of the fake news that is going to have a complete conniption and declare that the whole world has come to an end, and I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to bust out the band. The baby on the bus is coming. Oh, yeah, man. All of it. Cry, baby, cry. All of the remakes, all of the remixes, all of the genres of crybaby and all that. I'm dropping it all, man. Y'all all invited. Uh-huh. I'm going to go through and find every liberal tier because I don't care at this point. See, we're beyond being sensitive to the radical left, being worried about the reaction of all the Democrats' foot soldiers that might go out and tear up liberal cities. Let them tear it up. We're beyond that. Right now, as Joe was talking all that garbage, the one thing he is right about, democracy is on the ballot. Yeah, there you go. It's on the ballot. Or should I say our republic is on the ballot. And we see it. And when we make this choice in November, if they don't do something drastic, and I mean they're going to have to do something real drastic to stop this, because I honestly think Trump is so far ahead. It's beyond the margin of cheating. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm always trying to think like the enemy. I'm saying, what could they be plotting to do? What's their next move? If this doesn't work, what then? Now, I pray that the Secret Service is doing their job. If I was Trump, I'd have people eating my food first. Man, I'd be like, hey, I want y'all, I need a food tester. I would, everything, my clothes. I mean, I'd be like, hey, man, hey, put this on first. I want to make sure no little needle or something, everything you could possibly think of. You know, I'd be like, hey. So they're almost out of all options, man. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But God bless Trump. God bless America. God bless all of us who still are hanging on to enough common sense to see that our country is swinging in the balance. Swinging in the balance. And I know you hear people, this isn't hyperbole and all this stuff. This, I honestly believe. Because, see, you got to understand, guys, and I'm going to close with this. We know how dangerous this is because we're all able to see exactly how evil these people are, see what they're doing. This is no longer one of them situations where you're guessing or you're still wondering, like, is America really, I mean, do our politicians really? It's beyond their ability to cover it up and make it appear that, yeah, we might have a little corruption here and there, but really we still got a legitimate, they're beyond that. And because it's so clear, we're able to really see how dangerous it is. This ain't one of those, well, you know, they're going to do whatever they do. You know how it is, these politicians. This is one of those, we all see this, right? Is it just me? We see how they done tried this, they done tried that. They coming after us, they coming after. This is real. This ain't a movie. This is happening in real life. And if we don't stop it, we in trouble. So as long as they allow me to keep getting up here on the internets and saying stuff, I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah. But they don't like democracy. They don't like competition. So they're doing everything they can to stop Kev from Kevin's Corner. And you guys can help by sharing my videos, following me on other platforms, supporting the channel. You know, because I'm going to tell you right now, I might have to go out and bale some hay, man. They're killing me, man. They're killing me on my monetization. Somebody tried to give in the super chat the other day, and they said they couldn't even give. So if you want to support my channel monetarily, you probably should do it through my 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 link, my PayPal fundraising link right below the video, because that's their goal. Their goal is to make it so uncomfortable on their platform and make sure you can't really succeed on the platform. They're like, we don't want you making money off of our platform, you conservative black man who we claim we support black people. We want to see them all succeed. And it's not, they don't want that. They want it. It's like, all right, man, look, we're going to drop this mess down to such a minimum that you're either going to say, I'm just doing it because, which I am. I passionately believe in all of this. Even if they took all of my monetization away, any little bit of money I'm making, I still would do it because I believe in what I'm talking about and I see what's going on. See, and that's really dangerous to these people. They know it. They know people could tell who's bullcrap, and they know people could watch people say, man, that cat right there is a propaganda or whatever. And they know when people say that person is genuine. And people like that are a danger because people are attracted to that and they will support that. That's why they got to make it have a perception that my channel won't grow. Always unsubscribing you people, always making it difficult for y'all to get notifications. All of that stuff is designed to drop the psych op that, hey, is it really worth it, Kev? I mean, why don't you just tap out? Why don't you do whatever? Somebody said, do I have a P.O. box? I got rid of it a while back, but I tell you what, if you email me, which my email is also in the about section, I will email you an address. I'll reply to an address that if you want to send something to me, you can. People send me all kind of stuff. They send me props. Yeah, thanks to whoever, I forget who sent me this, but thanks. If you are the person who sent this to me, thank you. All of these little props, most of them, is because people sent them to me. So I appreciate everything that you guys do. I really, really do. All your support. And hey, if YouTube ain't doing you right, let me know. Now, with that being said, we're going to get out of here. Don't forget this number right here, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that, I'll stay in contact with you. At some point, I'm going to go ahead and reply to you. And then also, with that being said, if you want to check out my store, Kevin's Corner Store, feel free to do some shopping, y'all. Buy some stuff. Enjoy yourself. That's right. Other than that, man, let's get out of here because I got to get the sliminess off from hearing Joe Biden and his stinking lying speech. Yeah, he's a bum. I'm telling you, he's a bum rock. Makes me so sick to my stomach. Awesome MAGA. Yeah, it's our city because it's a republic. Yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.